Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman and the committee members. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to express my concerns. So my name is Tao Huong. I come to Austin, Texas in 2005. That's when Austin was still defined as a college town. That was after my graduation from Penn State, and I came down here to work for Dell. I've been living in Austin for 20 consecutive years. I'm not going anywhere. I'm a US citizen, but in the 20 years, for 15 years, I was a foreigner. It just took that long for me to get my permanent residency and finally get my US citizenship. 2 children that I have, they're born, raised here in Texas, then consider themselves Texan, and they are, right? And I was lucky enough that, the law that we have today allowed me to buy a house for my own residency and raise my children in my own house. That provides a lot of safety, community connections, and just consistency in their extracurriculum coordinations, right? So the experience of raising my own children in my own house is very different versus, compared to if I have to renew my lease every year. So what this bill does is it would take away the ability for immigrants that are on legal visa, whether it's a working visa or a student visa, to be able to buy property in this state. And what it essentially will do is think about the H-1B workers that they're hired by those technology companies. And those companies move jobs from California to Texas because Texas is more friendly, is more affordable. Now those people, for 10 years, for 12 years, because they're still going through the immigration process, they're foreigners. They cannot claim Texas as their permanent resident.
Members,
they won't be able
to
to raise
witness.
their families.
Just a quick question. I
Mr.
think this
Anchia.
is, Ms. Huang, I think you were trying to make the following point, that on page 3 of the bill, when it talks about who is covered by the report in the transaction, it says an individual who is not a citizen of the United States, right? So clearly, legal permanent residence, as my father was for, decades before becoming a U.S. citizen in 2014, would be covered. And you're making the further point that someone who is lawfully present in the United States under a visa category like H-1B, a T visa, a U visa, an E-2, an L-1 would also be covered by this bill because they're neither a legal permanent resident nor a citizen of the United States.
I think, let me clarify this. This is the key point. I assume you and I both agree those legal immigrants shouldn't be affected. Is that correct?
I totally agree with that.
I totally agree with you too. However, the language in the bill that says you need to prove yourself to be a Texas resident, okay? And by definition, according to Texas law, for you to become a Texas resident, you must have your domicile in Texas. The word domicile literally means you are permanent resident. This is the home that you want to return to. However, those visa holders, our immigration law also states that visa holders, you are temporarily in U.S. Your domicile has to be your country of origin. If you violate that, your visa will be revoked. So for somebody who is on a work visa or student visa, they will never say that Texas is their residence, even if they're paying tax, to our state as a residential alien. But they will never say that because claiming Texas as their residence will cause their visa to be revoked.
That's right, because you can't have a permanent intent to remain under these visa categories because you'd be in violation of the representations that you're making to the United States.
Right.
For all of these tech workers at Texas Instruments, for example, or at any, or Tesla, or any other high-tech company and employer in the United States would be covered by the report and that is being sort of focused on in this bill, correct?
It won't. Basically, they won't have the ability to purchase.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Okay,
I
thank
agree
you.
with you.
Thank
Yes.
you, Mr. Anchia. Members, or further questions to this witness?